Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to take a look at Urshifu Inteleon. I looked at this deck about a month or so ago before Paldea Evolved came out, but now that we have Paldea Evolved for early days in the meta, but now we're starting to see how things shape up a little bit, and this deck may be the best deck in format. It has the highest win rate at 55% of any of the decks in online tournaments that have been played, I think, at least 10 times. So there's two decks higher win rates, but they've only been played once or like 3 times, something like that. So this, of the decks that see some play, has the best win rate. It certainly has a higher win rate than any of the more played decks, more popular ones that people see. This really is a solid choice at this point. It's going to be a slightly different build than before. I figure that just makes sense in terms of making another video. What this deck does is it is built around Battle VIP Pass. That's the big change, and then a few other changes within it. I'll talk through the Pokemon, which are the same as before, so I'll do that briefly, though. It plays a 3/3 Inteleon Vmax line, in large part for double gunner, where you discard a water energy from hand, and then you put 20 damage or 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's what we're doing. We're kind of building up a little damage here and there to make things work. It's kind of a slow deck. At times it can get overpowered. That's not good. But it can certainly do well against Lost Zone decks with low HP Pokemon. And as long as we're not getting one-shot knockout on our VMAXs, we can compete against multi-prize decks also. So, and then the Inteleon VMAX has an attack, Gmax Spiral, that is useful, 70 damage plus 70 more if you put an energy attached to this Pokemon in hand. It's 2 energy, a water, and a colorless, which we do play water energy. We can pay for it that way, but you usually want to pay for it with 1 Rapid Strike energy. And then you can put that back into hand so you have it for the next turn. So we will attack with that sometimes. And then the other attacker, which is probably the more common main attacker, is Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax, 330 HP, so a tanky Pokemon. It's weak to Psychic, so that isn't great, of course. Gardevoir is obviously a very strong and popular deck, as is Mew, and we get 1 shot with that. So giving up 3 prizes or potentially 4 if they have the Sky Seal Stone isn't good, but otherwise, other decks, it is quite good. Max Gale Thrust does 30 damage plus 120 more if it moves to the active that turn for 1 energy. So 1 energy, 150 damage is a very solid amount. And then Gmax Rapid Flows, that's the more popular probably attack. Well, certainly what people think of when they think of Urshifu Vmax for 3 energy, fighting colorless. It does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, which you get to choose. And then you have to discard all energy attached to it. So you have to be careful with when to use it, obviously, because then you don't have the energy for the next turn. But there are ways to address that we'll be talking about. So those are the 2 main attackers. The third attacker is Medicham V, particularly with Yoga Loop, the first attack for 2 colorless energy, which again, we can pay for that with 1 Rapid Strike energy. It puts 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And if the Pokemon's knocked out, then you take another turn. So that's the really powerful part, back-to-back turns with attacks. You can't do Yoga Loop the second turn, which I think makes sense there, but very useful. You're kind of getting these damage counters building up, spreading around, taking out the knockouts, multi-prize attacks with Urshifu Vmax or back-to-back attacks with Medicham V. We play Radiant Alakazam to help get the damage counters moved around the way we want. Once during a turn with Painful Spoons, you can move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another. So that's useful. And a 2/2 Octillery, that's the engine. So getting that set up is very important. Sometimes you'll struggle to get the Octillery set up, and then you are in a tough spot because you're going to have a hard time getting the resources you want. But Octillery has Rapid Strike Search. You search your deck for any 1 Rapid Strike card, reveal it, and then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 Rapid Strike Search ability in a turn. So even if you have both Octilleries in play, you can only use 1. And then we play 1 Lumineon V for Luminous Sign, search for a supporter, and Drapion V to help with the Mew matchup, because obviously that's very tough since Urshifu's weak to that. So that's the option there. In terms of energy, we play 4 Rapid Strike energies, which count as 2 energy. Can only be attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. It counts any combination of water and fighting energy. That's what we need. Water for Inteleon fighting for Urshifu, so quite nice. And then 6 basic water energies for attacking the pinging and to pay the attack cost of something like Urshifu VMAX, the 3rd energy there. We only play 6 energies. The old build, I played 7, but Battle VIP Pass does take more deck space, so had to cut an energy for it. I still think 6 seems to be fine, though. So just going through the trainers here. 4 Ultra Ball to search for Pokemon, always a great card. 3 Tower of Waters to reduce the retreat cost of Rapid Strike Pokemon by 2. With Urshifu's attack, we do need to swing in and out of the active. 2 Irida, which we did not play before. You search for a water Pokemon, which is Octillery or Lumineon, and also an item. You get to put those in hand. Partly because we play Battle VIP Pass, or Irida does get you that. It also can get you some other cards that we'll see, which have been included, and partly because of this Irida. 1 Cheryl, a very useful card. When you attack with Urshifu with the 2nd attack, you lose the energy. When you attack with Inteleon, the energy can go back in hand, so we can Cheryl heal off the energy. Just 1 Cheryl. We don't play Palpad. Before we did play Palpad, dropped it from this list due to deck space, so you can only do it once, so just choose wisely. But doing it once per game really is very powerful. 2 energy retrieval, put 2 basic energies from the discard pile into your hand, lets you keep streaming those Inteleon pings. 1 Escape Rope. This is the only switch card outside of Tower of Waters. So if a non-Rapid Strike card get gusted up, we have this card and this card alone to make the switch happen. We can attach manually the basic energy and retreat. That's not great, though. 1 Energy Search. We didn't play that before either. Partly this makes sense because of the Irida in the deck. I'm pretty sure it didn't have this deck card before. I could be wrong about that. But Irida lets us search out Energy Search, and then it gets a basic energy into hand either to help pay an attack cost or to ping with the Inteleon. So that's useful. 1 Korrina's Focus. Not as you draw until you have 6 cards in hand. Okay supporter, but it is a Rapid Strike card, so we can get it with Octillery. So that's really why we want it here. 1 Echoing Horn, again a Rapid Strike card, so we can get that with Octillery. And you put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. So especially like a low HP Pokemon that we can easily get the damage counters on and then knock out with Medicham V. That's one way we use it sometimes. Or something that we can snipe with our Urshifu Vmax. Those are the Pokemon we want to get down on the bench. So it's helpful in the deck. 4 Battle VIP Pass, right? You can only use it your first turn of the game. But then you search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench. So very nice when you have it. The reason I personally don't like the card, it's just it's inconsistent, and I don't like inconsistent decks. They feel too high roll to me. A lot of times you get 2 Battle VIP Pass, and your start of the game is tremendous. Sometimes you get none at the start of the game, and then there's just 4 dead cards after that in the game. So it's not my style, but it is a good card. So I want to play. So I do want to make a point to play decks with it sometimes because they just have to be comfortable with it. You need to be able to play different decks, even ones that are less your natural style. 2 Iono. This is the one new card meaning it's from Paldea Evolved. Before I played 1 Roxanne, so that's out of the deck. 2 copies of this are in the deck. It helps early game, unlike Roxanne, and also helps disrupt too. So it's a very useful card. 1 Melony. Played 2 Melony before, but again, deck space can only fit 1 into the deck. 2 Research. Before played 4 Research, but kind of cut down on this, partly with the Battle VIP Pass, partly with the Iono, and we have the Irida too, so I have to make room down to 2 Research here. 1 Klara to get back Pokemon and energy into your hand. 1 Boss's Orders. A second would be nice, but we only have the one. Before the deck played Palpad, I might have made mention of that. But now we don't. So we're limited to like 1 boss per game. So use it well. 2 Forest Seal Stone. We have the Vs and Vmaxes, but no V Stars. So Star Alchemy is a very nice ability. And then 3 Nest Balls. Before we played 4. Obviously, Battle VIP Pass, we can drop that to 3, and we just don't have the deck space. So we've dropped a Roxanne, a Palpad, and we dropped Hisuian Heavy Ball, which the other deck played. And I think it's fine not having it. So this is the list. Let's jump in and see how the deck performs for us. Okay, it's a little bit of a tricky deck. You really have to prize map carefully and execute well. I'm still learning the angles with the deck. So I'll choose heads, which I always do, and I'll hopefully, if I win the toss, I will go first. I lost the toss. We'll see what my opponent chooses. I'll give myself a little sound here. Hopefully that's enjoyable. Sometimes I get quiet when I'm thinking harder, so it covers up the dead air in that regard. I assume it's not distracting. If it is, just let me know in the comments below. Appreciate any feedback, constructive criticism, or you know, the things you like too. I'll appreciate it. So I go second, which is what I would expect. So don't have a basic Pokemon, so at least one mulligan for my opponents. Metal Energy, so we'll see what on the sleeve. We'll see what I'm up against eventually. But first, my opponent. They really shouldn't bench another Pokemon. They should have just benched the Pokemon and said, okay. I'm not sure why it's quite so slow, but sometimes that's the way it goes. All right, one mulligan, not terrible. All right, that's solid start. So I could Urshifu. I'm trying to think. I could potentially attack with either Pokemon. Inteleon does 10 more damage. Urshifu can retreat to the bench if I want, so that's useful. All right, so it is a metal deck. Zamazenta V. There's a Zamazenta V Star, which I believe is attack like Zacian V of old. Okay. And what's their ability do? Discard, draw 5. Okay. All right, so probably play both Forest Seal Stones, I guess, just to thin things down. So I can get all the cards I want in play. Get a Battle VIP Pass for sure. Let's just take a quick peek while I'm doing this. I want to get... So it's a metal deck. They're weak to fire. It doesn't matter. So I need to get an Octillery down. I mean a Remoraid. And then what else do I want? I will toss down, let's see. I will put down another Inteleon. Whoop, not you. You. The Inteleon for the pinging is what I will do. Hopefully they can't knock me out. I think I will not retreat. Well, it's nice to have the option to swing into the active, though. So I will switch. That's what I was trying to debate there. Do I want to switch or not? So you can say done if you don't want to switch, or drag the Pokemon you want. Part of it is I can hit for 150, the bigger damage amount, if I swing into the active. If I get Octillery, I do have access to Tower of Waters. So, okay, oh, that gets rid of... Okay, so Dialga, not surprised there. So Fusillade, is it? Oh, Furisode Girl. Search for a basic Pokemon, put it in the active. So an interesting one. So Coating Metal doesn't do anything there. All right, well that's good. I think I want to research. I want to get Octillery in play because that lets me search out any one Rapid Strike card. But you do that after the research, right? You want to see what cards you hit with the research, and then you fill in the missing pieces. Well, that's nice. So, so evolve here. Is there another Pokemon I want to play? I don't know if there is. All right, so I'm gonna wanna. I could Ultra Ball too and get an Inteleon into play, VMAX. So I could. All right. I might not have wanted that stadium. I could have used Octillery for something else if I didn't need that. So. I think I want to get. I think I want to get a VMAX into play here. So, all right, just taking a look here. So I don't. Korrina's Focus. I might have played that. I might already been in the discard pile. I don't remember. I was just taking a look for that. Let me see. Is it no, it must be prized. Okay. So, I think I want to keep the energy in play still. I'm assuming they're not going to knock me out. 150 to get the knockout next turn. I need to probably do the big attack next. So if they evolved to Dialga V-Star, I believe that's 280 HP. That's kind of what I was thinking. Sorry, I was not. I was thinking thoughts and kind of saying half sentences. I know that's not good listening. Right, so it's 280, I believe, on Dialga V-Star. So I could finish it off with another 150. I have to do a double switch, though, which might not be possible. So Arvin, which searches for an item and a tool. Okay. Full face guard. Okay, Dialga. Oh yeah, Dialga's V-Star is also doesn't have that. So Magnezone, Rare Candy. Well, he might be able to do back-to-back attacks. Let's see. All right, only 1 energy. I like that. He needs 5 there. So I really need to kind of finish him off here. Can I do that? That's not great, is it? 1/3. Oh, I can finish off with him, right? That does. All right, so. All right, what else do I want to get into play? I have you. Retreat, send you up. You will do only 120. Oh, because full face guard. Oh, that's not good. All right, you're going to get double back-to-back attacks there. So I'm going to want a Medicham V. Is Medicham V prized? Well, that is super stinky. Super stinky. All right, so I'm going to evolve my other Inteleon. So that Medicham V is prized. Boo-hoo-hoo, I say. Yes, I want extra damage. I'd like that even more damage. I'd like that 10 more damage for the knockout. But, yeah, so full face. Was it shield? Guard? What is it called? Full face guard. Saved the day there. Literally. So they need to attach 2 energy. They probably are going to do it to get the Star Chronos. They'll have back-to-back attacks, which means they will be able to blow away my VMAX then. They not blow. It'll take them two hits into it, so which isn't great. But that is definitely a possibility that they're going to hit into me with Star Chronos and attack a second time. If they can gust up my Urshifu VMAX, then they can take 3 prizes there. Oh, but they failed. So that, well, why aren't they attacking? I'm a little confused by that, I gotta say, right? So I want to, I mean, there's no reason not to thin my deck. So what do I want to get into hand here? I'll just grab an Urshifu V. Don't want to play it down, but I might just want him, right? Do I want to ping with him? I think I do. I think I do want to ping. Ping away. I wish I could have gusted, because that would have been nice, right? Then I could have pinged, or Medicham. I wish I had Medicham V. Obviously, I don't have him. I will not put the energy into hand, since I don't need to. It just gives me more options for next turn, potentially. Now, if I get damaged, Cheryl, I'll lose that energy plus the energy on the other Urshifu, if that's kind of the way things fall. So that's the risk to it. So Medicham, obviously I wish I had that last turn. And if I was playing Hisuian Heavy Ball, that would have been useful. Although you don't know that I would have, I don't know that I would have had it to play one of the last 2 turns. But obviously Hisuian Heavy, Medicham V would have been huge last turn. And Zamazenta does evolve. It won't one-shot me. It will knock out the guy on the bench, 120, 220, I believe, or 180. Is that what it is? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I could throw him on the bench. I don't think I want to. I think I just want to retreat into you. I think. Play you. May as well set things up for next turn here. I will grab Inteleon V. I'm not going to play you because I don't want to. Just thinning things down. I will make the attachment here. And now I can next turn. Now, I don't have the energy to retreat, so that's its own issue, right? They'll finish me off this turn, which is fine. I will take 3 prizes next turn, though, right? I can easily, but I have to be careful. I do have to be careful. With things. So, that's good. That's a big miss for me. Big miss for him. Big miss for me, right? So takes the knockout there. I will Medicham. I will Yoga Loop there. But I don't have game. And I do have a very damaged Inteleon Vmax. And I might want to Cheryl that guy away, right? I could. Do I have Cheryl on deck? Let's see. No, I don't have Cheryl there, huh? Did I get rid of it? I have Klara. Okay, so let me see if Cheryl is in my discard pile. It is. Okay, so I don't need to try. I'm not going to pull it from the prizes, so that's good to know, right? So I'll bench this guy, and I can ping. So maybe I make. This possibly is the play, right? Lumineon. Let me Irida here. Grab a Remoraid. Grab this guy. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Getting some options here. So Yoga Loop. Take the knockout there. See what my prize is. So 3 prizes to win the game. Okay. That could get me what I need. So let me think here. I need a Melony though, right? I think I discarded Melony. I think Melony's gone. So all right, I want to let me grab this energy. Oh no, this gives me game, right? This gives me game. Echoing. No, it doesn't give me game. So that's okay. So let me make that play. Toss him on the bench. I don't have Radiant Alakazam or access to that this turn, do I? I don't have the energy. Oh, that's right. I don't have access to the energy. So I just retreat here. That's okay. Make that play. I will... I'll put the energy into hand. Maybe I should have... this gives me the option to attack with Urshifu. That's the thought there, right? Although I can't get the energy accelerated that turn. So, that's right, because I only played one Melony. I played two before, second Melony, or that PAL pad would have been quite nice. I have boss, so I have game this next turn. I guess I did leave myself a path to lose the game. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Magnemite, right? Because he could evolve him, and I could lose the game here. So that was a misplay, right? Looking like they don't have it though, so that's good. So yep, so game for me. So I will just gust them up and take them out. All right, so I did get a little sloppy there, but got the win. Now, not up against a top meta deck is true there, but you know, you just got to do your calculations, try to figure out what damage does what, and keep track of what resources you have. With these number of one-of supporters and such, you need to know what you still have. Oh, can I not play a game now? It says I went into play and it says update available. So, I guess I can't play a game now. Or is this update available going to show up the whole time? Is it going to pair in for me or not? Do I have to cancel? Okay, so this is a bit of a funny situation I have here. Obviously, I can say cancel, and I might need to do that. In which case, I'll probably just end this video. So this is a new little... I'd say this is a glitch, right? This is not good design here. So I started a game. It's got an update. Now, look, there's been problems with the game, so updating it is good. I do like that. And updating it soon is good. Updating it like in the middle of things happening. All right, so I guess I'm going to end the video because I assume this game's going to end. So so take care. It's a good deck. Get to know it and take care. All right, well, I hit update. It looks like it's not logging out. It's just updating from the server. So I'm going to let the video keep going. None of my private information is being released. I wasn't sure it was going to close up. I didn't want to show my desktop and show everything with the login. That I didn't want happening. So anyway, let's see what happens here. I don't know if I'm going to play another game at this point, but I'm leaving this in. So I guess it didn't... I don't know if it counted as a game loss, right? It might have. Wow. So instead of... So this ban list has really increased. Okay, so now we have Spiritomb, Tingaloo, Klefki, Gorobis, Inteleon V, Aerodactyl V-Star. The issue, as I understand it, is if you have a card that shuts off abilities, it's like locking up the game. So now they're just going through and just taking more and more out, I guess. I'll have to try to understand all of this. So anyway, they're having a lot of problems. And quite frankly, part of why people wanted live to happen, and people were excited about live, right? They thought the PTCGO wasn't updated like it should have been. But, you know, banning problem cards temporarily I don't object to that, but they need to get things fixed, and so far they haven't shown the ability to fix things quickly. That's what we have.